welcome. You're watching the Monday edition of This Is Exclusive with me, Shavan Sen. Ladies and gentlemen, a big jolt to the Tukre gang. If you wonder why exactly have we been calling them Tukre gang, it's only because of the fact that their intention all this while has been to break the country. In fact, what I'm holding right now is a 32-page conspiracy file. The conspiracy that was basically hatched by these two people, Uman Khalid and Sharjeel Imam. The details of what they were basically planning and how they were planning will come out tonight on This Is Exclusive, which will actually tell you why the Supreme Court felt the need to keep them behind bars and let off the others at least on bail. Tonight on This Is Exclusive, we're going to go into granular detailing of the role that has been played by these two people, and more importantly, how 2019 was the precursor to what we witnessed in 2020 February when US President Donald Trump was in the national capital. All this and much more on this edition of This Is Exclusive, but first let me take you through the headlines we're tracking at this hour. 34-page explosive document sheds light on terrorist Umar and Sharjeel masterminding the 2020 Delhi riots conspiracy. Supreme Court rejects the bail plea of Tukre icons in riots case, uproar over bail of 5 other accused. US Vice President J.D. Vance's residence in Ohio attacked, 1 suspect arrested. Captured Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and his wife appear in New York court on narco-terrorism charges. The Supreme Court has denied bail to Uman Khalid and Sharjeel Imam, who were accused for offences under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act in connection with the 2020 Delhi riots larger conspiracy case. Now, the court ruled that material on record discloses a prima facie case against Uman Khalid and Sharjeel Imam. The court, in fact, said that the delay in the trial can serve as a trigger for the judicial scrutiny, even in cases involving offences under the UAPA, like the present one. In fact, Republic has tracked this closely since 2020, and today with the Supreme Court's ruling, we present an explosive document. A 34-page report that essentially corroborates the court's observation that what Omar and Sharjeel planned does in fact amount to acts of terror. In fact, I'm going to take you through each of the details and how the planning actually all started. 2019, what we basically saw. 2019 was basically a replica. And in 2020, when the riots actually broke out, it was nothing but a replica of 2019 itself. And the planning actually began since then. In fact, what we are given to understand from the documents that have been accessed, the sequence of events of the conspiracy of the Northeast Delhi riots. And what's very clear, the aim was very simple. The aim was to target the state. Allegations of incitement was not raised by the state for the first time. Rather, it was raised in closed doors of conspirators themselves, that is the DPSG group. Now, it is this particular group in which most of these accused were present. Their very own trusted persons of conspirators have charged them with conspiracy. The state has basically come in much later. Now, it seems that within the DPSG group, in which Uman Khalid, Sharjeel Imam and others were basically present, there was a fight that had already taken place. Some who had spoken about the fact that there was a deliberate attempt that was made to incite violence, and some said that you need to de-escalate. Now, these are words that have basically come in. Look at what was essentially being spoken about in these chats, in these various posts that were basically put in. Tera mera rishta kya hai, la ilallah. was one such where they're essentially saying that it is basically against nationalism, it is against democracy, it is against secularism. Then if you take a look at further details that we have essentially got, the top conspirators, the conspirators who were along with Uman Khalid and Sharjeel Imam, there were other groups. In fact, it turns out that they had something called the JCC in their entire ecosystem, and the riots in February 2020 was basically executed by carefully identifying and selecting the protest sites in Muslim majority areas close to mosques, mazars, they're close to main roads, so as to escalate protests to Chakka Jam. Once critical mass is generated and at an appropriate time and eventually leaded to violence against police and then others, it was ensured that secular names, Hindu names were given to protest sites to give a secular color. Now let's break down the entire anatomy of this plan. Now this document basically mentions that the riots were basically preceded in December 2019 at a much lower scale, but the pattern was quite identical, having the same lead characters and also the similar modus operandi. And the riots were basically executed by carefully identifying and selecting protest sites in Muslim majority areas that were close to mosques and also close to main roads, so as to basically escalate the Chakka jams. And once critical mass is gathered, they basically would be leading to violence against the police and others also. I'm going to take you through what was the modus operandi. It is what we are calling the anatomy of the riots. First was about spreading of information, how exactly misinformation was being provided to others through WhatsApp, multiple WhatsApp groups that were essentially created, DPSG being one such. And in fact, back in 2019 itself, in Jamia, there was a group that was created by Sharjeel Imam. And the messages that they were basically passing on, I'm going to take you through all of that in a short while from that. There were what they called 27 protest sites. Now, this was a mini protest site that was basically created, and they wanted this to go on for 24/7. In fact, they escalated this at a much later by bringing in the aspect of Chakka jams, of ensuring that highways, roads were basically blocked so that people were inconvenienced and their message would have been set across. So they were moving from protest site to designated location on main roads, highways, and blockade. Now, this was particularly extremely important to their entire system, how exactly they were operating, so that the moment the roads and highways are basically blocked, it would have garnered more attention, creating confrontational situation. So the easiest way, according to this particular document that we have accessed, their plan was to ensure that they would target the courts, they would target the police, and there were multiple sequences that were basically created by them by which they would have come face-to-face blows with the police. Now, let me take you through what were they planning to do. They were attacking the police as well as the paramilitary. That was part of their entire plan. Let's move on. Now, if you take a look at it, their idea was spread communal violence, attack the non-Muslims. So in some of the areas that you see with the names that they had essentially given, their aim to attack non-Muslims, damage public and private properties. And what were they doing? How were they doing it? They were using petrol bombs, firearms, deadly weapons, acid bombs, stones, lathis, chili powder. So look at the manner in which all of this was planned. And does it really look to you that these were basically perhaps spontaneous in nature? No, it wasn't spontaneous. It was a protest that was completely orchestrated. Now I'm going to take you through the areas where these protests were actually taking place, and more importantly, how it is linked to 2019. So it's not about just 2020, but it is also 2020. Now, one thing is abundantly clear, and that is the peaceful protest narrative that was essentially given was just an alibi. The actual plan was to basically target India, to incite mass violence, and also break the very fabric of democracy. Now, what we are going to show you, we'll show you the two maps of the national capital. In fact, this is where the first phase of the riots that took place. So we've been able to put together, just look at the arc of this. It all started with 16th of December 2019 in Chandbagh Mazar area. Chandbagh Mazar area was the first, it was reported on 16th of December. Then in Bridgepuri Tea Point, that was on 17th of November 2019. So all of this comes in one particular area itself. If you take a look at it, they're all part of the same area. Let's move to the other part. 66-footer road, this is again on 17th of December 2019. That's another place where the riots had broken out. Let's take you through the other details of it. In front of Jafrabad police station, 17th of December, this is again yet another place where there was a confrontation that has taken place. That is point number 4. Point number 5, take a look at it. This is in December 20th from Shamshan Ghat to the GOI Chakkar Old Simapuri. Now that's point number 5 here. Point 6, take a look at it. Let's move to the point 6. Again, this is all within one particular area, as you see. This is the first phase of the riots pattern. In one particular area, in a couple of days, you have seen how it was attacked. Again, the second phase of the planning. It's again from 1 to 4 belongs in this arc. 5 to 8 that we want to take you right now, again falls in a wider range itself. The same very area. Jafrabad, Silampuri Fruit Market, Jafrabad Metro Station, Jyoti Nagar, these are all part of the same arc that you see. Shastri Park, Sundar Nagar, the other places. So a total of 10 locations that we've been able to map here. As you can see, take a look at it, closer look. You will understand that how this was concentrated in one particular area so that they had the maximum damage that could be inflicted upon. I'm also going to get you two very special guests in a short while from now. I'm going to tell you how the riot victims, how they have faced perhaps injustice for a very long time. The fact that these were the same very people who went on calling for democracy, that democracy is in threat. The reality is this, that the two people who actually faced the worst. Ram Paswan, he's again Nitin's father. Shiv Kumar Raghav, he's again a victim. Ram Paswan ji और शिव कुमार जी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. सबसे पहले आप दोनों से एक सवाल करना चाहूँगा, वो ये है कि उमर खालिद और शर्जील इमाम की अगर बात करें, दोनों के ऊपर जो आरोप लगे हैं, वो आरोप एक तरह से देखा जाए तो जानबूझकर जो भी उन्होंने किया 2019 और 2020 में, ये जानबूझकर उन्होंने किया था. पर अब तक जो दलील दिया गया था कोर्ट में वो ये था कि हम लोग पीसफुल प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं, हम देश को बचाने के लिए पीसफुल प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं. आप लोगों से जानना चाहूँगा, क्योंकि जिस तरह से आप लोगों ने अपने लोगों को खोया है, आप लोग से जानना चाहूँगा, जो लोग आपकी बात सुन रहे हैं उनको भी आप बताइए कि आखिरकार जो लोग ये दलील देते हैं कि डेमोक्रेसी को बचाने के, गणतंत्र को बचाने के लिए ही वो ये काम कर रहे थे, क्या वो सही है?
जी, ये जो प्रोटेस्ट जो हुआ था यहीं से स्टार्ट हुआ था गलती, लेकिन उसके अंदर जो हमारे लोगों की जान गई, जिससे कि कोई लेना देना नहीं था हम लोगों का, उसके अंदर जो स्टार्ट हुआ जी, ये इतना गलत हुआ कि लोगों ने उसका साथ देने की बजाय उसका गलत इस्तेमाल कर दिया. वो गलत इस्तेमाल होने पे ही लोगों की जानें भी गई, लोगों की दुकानें भी, मार्केट जला दी गई. तो मद्देनजर रखते हुए ही ये सारे काम बहुत ही गलत हुए. इसके अंदर प्रशासन ने भी बहुत लापरवाही.
Shiv Kumar ji, we'll try and reconnect with Shiv Kumar in a while from now. Ram Paswan is also joined. Ram Paswan जी, आपसे भी ये सवाल करना चाहूँगा जो मैंने शिव कुमार जी से किया, क्योंकि आपने अपने लोगों को खोया है और उस दिन, जिस दिन ये हादसा हुआ, जिस तरह से ये दंगे हुए दिल्ली में, उसमें कई लोगों को जान गए. उसके बावजूद ये जो लोग हैं, शर्जील इमाम और उमर खालिद, इनके पीछे जिस तरह से विदेशी दल उनको बैकिंग दे रही है, आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे? सबसे पहले तो ये बताइए कि उस दिन आपके जान पहचान के कौन लोग थे और क्या हुआ था?
सर, मैं राम सुगारत पासवान बोल रहा हूँ सर.
जी
जी सर,
बोलिए राम पासवान जी, मैं ये पूछ रहा हूं आपसे, उस दिन हुआ क्या? दंगे के दिन में नितिन के साथ हुआ क्या था?
सर दंगे के दिन में मेरे यहाँ जो है गोखलपुरी में 2 दिन पहले दंगे हुआ था सर, 24-25 तारीख को, फरवरी को।
जी
जी सर सुन।
राम पासवान जी आप बोलिए, आप पूरे
तो
विस्तार से बताइए कि हुआ क्या था।
ऐसा हुआ सर, हमारे यहाँ है गोखलपुरी, रहता हूँ दिल्ली गोखलपुरी में। तो यहाँ पे जो है 24 तारीख और 25 तारीख ये दिन दंगे हो रहा था, दुकानें भी लूटी जा रही थी, आग भी लग रही थी। और 2 दिन के बाद तीसरे दिन सर, तीसरे दिन जो है सो यहाँ आंसू गैस को गोले छूट रहे थे, पुलिस के ऊपर पुलिस छोड़ रहे थे गोले। वो मेरा लड़का है, तीसरे दिन दुकानें खुल गया था, मेरा लड़का आया, चाउमीन कह रहा पापा मैं चाउमीन लेने जाऊंगा। वो जैसे चाउमीन लेने आया उसको गोली लग गया। सर हम घर में थे, हमको पता नहीं है कि आंसू गैस को गोली लगी या आंसू गैस का गोला छोड़ा है, ये तो हमें पता नहीं सर। लेकिन मेरे जो है मैं ढूंढता रहा, नहीं मिला, लेकिन मेरे कोई बता नहीं रहा था सर। शहर में जल्दी कोई पहचानते नहीं है, तो मैं जो हूँ तो ढूंढते पहले तो थाना गया गोखलपुरी, थाना में रिपोर्ट लिखवाया। फिर उसके बाद मैं ढूंढते ढूंढते जीटीबी अस्पताल है, जीटीबी अस्पताल में गए, तो वहाँ ढूंढते ढूंढते सर 10 बजे रात को मिले मेरा लड़का। 10 बजे रात के बाद वो 2-3 घंटे मैं उसके पास में रहा। 2-3 घंटे बाद मेरा लड़का ने दम तोड़ दिया सर। तो ये है हमारे साथ घटना सर। सुन रहे हैं सर?
राम पासवान जी आप हमारे साथ जुड़े रहे, क्योंकि कई सारे सवाल मैं करना चाहूंगा, क्योंकि आज वो दिन है जो लोग सवाल कर रहे हैं कि आखिरकार इनको जेल के पीछे क्यों रखा गया है, सलाखों के पीछे क्यों रखा गया है, वो आज राम पासवान जी आप जवाब देंगे। पर कोशिश करूंगा कि शिव कुमार जी को भी लेके आए, बिकॉज शिव कुमार इनफैक्ट इज अ आई विटनेस to the riots that actually broke out. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you one picture. Can I just get Tahir Hussein's pictures on your screens right now? Tahir Hussein happens to be Aam Aadmi Party legislator. What you see on your screen is this very legislator, in fact, was orchestrating all of this, the violence that actually broke out. You have this legislator, take a look at this. When the riots broke out and there was massive violence that was actually taking place in that very area from where he represents, he happens to be a public representative, you would see petrol bombs were being thrown from this very place. Take a look at this. Crates of petrol bomb were being thrown from the very terrace where you had Tahir Hussein present. Now Shiv Kumar's shops happen to be in those very areas. Shiv Kumar ji, ये बताइए कि क्या आप ताहिर हुसैन को पहचानते हैं?
हाँ जी, खूब अच्छी तरह।
तो मैं ये काम करना चाहूंगा शिव कुमार जी, जब आपसे बातचीत करेंगे तो ये तस्वीर के बारे में भी लोगों को, क्योंकि कई लोग भूल चुके होंगे कि आखिरकार कि आम आदमी पार्टी के ही एक ऐसे नेता हैं, और वापस वो पिक्चर दिखाना चाहेंगे। अनुदीपक वो पिक्चर दिखाइए जब हम शिव कुमार जी से बात करेंगे। ताहिर हुसैन की तस्वीरें मैं दिखा रहा हूँ। शिव कुमार जी, ताहिर हुसैन कौन है और आपकी दुकान कितनी दूर है जहां पर ताहिर हुसैन रहता था? शिव कुमार और ये तस्वीर को दिखाइए।
2
मीटर दूरी पे है। तो ये जो तस्वीर देख रहे हैं शिव कुमार जी, आखिरकार हुआ क्या था? ताहिर हुसैन क्या कर रहे थे उस दिन?
उस दिन हम अपनी शॉप पे थे, जो हमारी गिरी ऑटोमोबाइल के नाम से थी, और उसी के अंदर मार्केट एसोसिएशन का ऑफिस था जिसका मैं प्रेसिडेंट हूं। 2 बजे के करीब दंगा स्टार्ट होता है। 2 बजे के करीब नमाज होने के बाद एक शख्स आया भीड़ में से निकल के, उसने पत्थर मारा इधर मूंगार की तरफ। जब वो पत्थर मारा उससे ही दंगा भड़क गया, और दंगे का रूप इतना भयंकर हो गया कि ना तो ये समझ आ रहा था कहां भागें कहां नहीं भागें, कहां जाएं कहां नहीं जाएं। जब भी उस दंगाइयों में से बीच में से निकल के एक भीड़ आई जिन्होंने दुकानों को जलाना चालू कर दिया। वो दुकानें जली। दुकानें जलने के बाद पुलिस को फोन करते रहे, पुलिस नहीं आई। पुलिस 8 बजे आई है, जिस टाइम पे दंगा शांत हो चुका था। सब जला जलू के अपने अपने घर भाग गए। ये हुआ था उस दिन।
शिव कुमार जी, क्या आप ये कह सकते हैं कि ताहिर हुसैन वहां पर जानबूझकर दंगा लगाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं? क्योंकि आप 2 मीटर दूरी पे थे और जो तस्वीरें निकल कर आ रहे थे उस वक्त ये तो साफ नजर आता है कि ताहिर हुसैन ऊपर छत के ऊपर खड़े थे, पेट्रोल बम भी वहीं पर रखा हुआ था, डंडा लेके वो खुद घूम रहे थे और जो लोग वहां से ऊपर से कुछ फेंकने की कोशिश, पत्थर फेंक रहे थे। क्या आप कह सकते हैं कि उस दिन क्या आपने देखा ताहिर हुसैन को ये करते हुए?
ताहिर हुसैन की मैंने आमने सामना नहीं किया, ना मेरे आमने सामने वो आए, लेकिन उस बिल्डिंग से पेट्रोल बम, पत्थर, नुकीले पत्थर और काफी तरह का सामान ऊपर से पब्लिक के ऊपर मारा जा रहा था। ये जरूर मैंने देखा, लेकिन क्योंकि हम नीचे थे, हमें नहीं पता ऊपर कौन कौन है।
जी, एक आखिरी सवाल राम पासवान जी से करना चाहूंगा। राम पासवान जी, क्योंकि आपने किसी अपने को खोया है और आपकी बात बहुत महत्व रखता है इस पूरे मामले को लेकर, इसलिए मैं आपसे सवाल करना चाहूंगा। क्योंकि कई लोग ये कहते हैं कि बेल क्यों नहीं दिया गया, क्यों वो जेल के सलाखे के पीछे है, और आपके पास क्या सबूत है? एजेंसीज को पूछा जाता है कि सबूत क्या है उनको जेल के पीछे रखने के लिए। सबूत कई लोगों ने दिखाया। पासवान जी, आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे जो लोग ये दलील देते हैं?
सर, मैं तो यही कहूँगा कि जो आदमी दंगे करवाते हैं सर, दिल्ली में या कोई भी शहर में, जो दिल्ली दंगे करवाते हैं उसके लिए सर कानून बने, और कड़ी से कड़ी सजा वाले कानून बने, जो फिर दोबारा दंगे ना हो सर। मैं अपने लड़का को खोया हूँ सर। मेरा लड़का 9वीं क्लास में पढ़ता था सर, और मैं एक साइकिल रिक्शा चलाता हूँ सर। साइकिल रिक्शा चला के मैं अपने बच्चों को पालता था सर, और मेरा लड़का ख़त्म हो गया। वो मेरा कहता था मैं पुलिस को नौकरी करूँगा सर। रोज़ सुबह 5 बजे सुबह उठ के दौड़ लगाता था सर। कहता था मैं बड़ी होकर पुलिस की नौकरी करूँगा, लेकिन मेरा ख़त्म हो गया लड़का सर। मैं उस दिन को याद करता हूँ, बहुत सोचता हूँ सर, मेरा लड़का ख़त्म हो गया सर। तो सर, मैं ऐसे चाहता हूँ कि ऐसे आदमी को सज़ा मिले और जल्दी बेल ना मिले, और जो इंसान आदमी है उसको बेल मिल जाए। जो दंगे करवाते उनको नहीं बेल मिलना चाहिए।
जी, राम पासवान जी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। शिव कुमार जी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए, और आप अपनी बात देश के सामने रखते हैं। हम यही चाहते हैं कि लोग भी सुने। There you've already heard it from someone who's lost their loved ones, and for absolutely no reason whatsoever, because of someone's political agenda, someone's vicious agenda, you've had innocent lives being lost. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all that we could pack in this edition of This Is Exclusive. Coming up, trending.
Co-powered by